books, welcome back to my channel. A few weeks ago I stopped by the Barnes & Noble bookstore to peruse their new release shelf like I always do, and I saw some new releases that I was kind of interested in, and I'm gonna ask you to tell me which of these three books you think I'd be most interested in reading, or which of these three books you'd be most interested in hearing me talk about once I've read it. So I'm gonna show you the three books that piqued my interest the most from the new release table, and I'm gonna ask you to help me choose. So stay tuned as we look at these three brand new books. Well, maybe not so brand new anymore. This video was filmed a couple of weeks ago. So let me know which of these three books you think I should read next. Stay tuned. We are live on location in the Barnes & Noble County Glen Center in Long Island, New York. And this is a new release table. The first book that caught my attention was The Stationery Shop by Marjan Kamali. Here we go. I love the cover of this book, and here's the synopsis. Roya, a dreamy, idealistic teenager living amid the political upheaval of 1953 Tehran, finds a literary oasis in kindly Mr. Fakhri's neighborhood stationery shop, stocked with books and pens and bottles of jewel-colored ink. Then, Mr. Fakhri, with a keen instinct for a budding romance, introduces her to his other favorite customer, handsome Bahman, who has a burning passion for justice and a love for Rumi's poetry, and Roya loses her heart at once. Their romance blossoms, and the modest little stationery shop remains their favorite place in all of Tehran. I think I'm going to read this book regardless of what you guys choose. Let's do the page 112 tag like I know I'm supposed to. Page 112 goes like this. When she entered the living room, Baba, Maman, and Zari were all sitting in a row as though waiting to inspect her or stop her. Are you sure you don't want to eat? Maman looked more worried than ever. All of a sudden, he's back in town? Zari asked suspiciously. I'm not hungry really, Maman June, Roya said. Why didn't he say to meet here or at your beloved stationery shop? Zari asked. Imagine if she'd actually told them everything. That Bahman had written in the last letter that they should not only meet at Sepa Square, but then go to the Office of Marriage and Divorce to get their marriage license. Maman could prepare the wedding for early September to her heart's content, and relatives and friends could come and celebrate then. But for a few delicious weeks, she and Bahman would be husband and wife in sweet secret. It would be a secret so verifiably luscious and dangerous that she could barely even believe it herself. He'd probably pick Sepa Square because it was close to the Office of Marriage and Divorce, and they could quickly go there before the lunchtime siesta hour if they met at noon. Bahman would never put her in danger. Then again, he had written the letter before the attempted coup had even happened. But who knew if anyone was following him? Maybe he didn't want to expose her family by coming to her home. Maybe a public square was safer. The truth was that at this point, she would walk through fire to meet him. Baba got up, went to the coat rack, and reached for his hat. I'll just walk with you to the square. You shouldn't go alone. There could be demonstrations again for all we know. She shouldn't go at all, Zari said. No, Babajan, thank you, but really it's not necessary. It's as safe as anything out there today. I'll be fine. And that's the end of page 112 of this book, The Stationery Shop by Marjan Kamali. The dialogue is a little bit stiff, but I think I'm interested in the story anyway, so I'd be willing to give it a shot. But let's see what else strikes my fancy, or let's see who blurbs this book. I don't know any of these authors, so okay. Moving on. The Gifted School by Bruce Halsinger. This looks interesting. Here's a synopsis. Good schools, stately houses, safe neighborhoods, all set against a beautiful landscape. What else could a family want? It was with high hopes of the future that four young couples separately chose Crystal, Colorado as a place to raise their children over a decade ago. Finding one another as friends further buoyed them over the ensuing years as they juggled the stresses of parenthood, careers, and marriage. Okay, I could get into a story like this. Let's not read anymore. Let's check out page 112. First, let's look at the back cover, and we see blurbs by Meg Wolitzer, who right now I'm interested in reading more from her. So if she recommends this book, I'm inclined to check it out. Let's see. Page 112. Her head tilted left. You have to respect my opinions about things I know, like black diamonds. Beck nodded, contrite. That was stupid. I should have listened. They were not ready. Aiden could be dead right now. You understand? Your son, dead. With a low clank, the jets died. The timer cycled off. She stared at him across the fogged and calming water. You're a baby, Beck, she said into the new silence. Like our Roy, a big baby. She climbed out and wrapped herself in one of the Egyptian cotton towels stocked by the laundry service. I'm going to shower, she said from behind him. Will you come to bed? He dropped his head back to look at her. Give me 10 minutes. She held up a hand. 5. Sonia went inside and left the sliding door open 6 inches. Beck gazed up at the tapestry of stars in dazzling focus on this cold April night at 9,000 feet. The condo shared the jacuzzi with the unit backing theirs, but no one had taken the place that weekend, leaving the deck nearly silent. He kept his head there against the smooth curve of the tub. Found Orion's belt and the twinned lines of Gemini, with the Monoceros horn just beneath. His father taught him the constellations over a summer of buggy camphouse in the Delaware Water Gap when he was about the boy's age. How many times had Beck taken his guys camping? Like ever? 4? 5? He closed his eyes, thinking of humid nights and the soft give of a sleeping bag, a glow of dying coals, beer bags dangling from limbs. Whoosh! The jets went on, startling him out of a doze as Tessa stepped onto the deck. Her towel fell to her feet and she stood there topless, pale skin luminous in the turquoise glow. She set a water glass and her phone on a bench and took a step toward the jacuzzi. Beck gasped. Oh God, I'm so sorry. She cowered to cover her chest. Beck turned away, gulping dryly. I didn't think anyone was out here. Hey, it's cool. Beck tried for nonchalant. Just tell me when you're in. Now that I've read a page 112, I don't feel like the story connects as much with the synopsis. The synopsis was really interesting to me, but the story isn't really holding my interest the same way. So I'm not sure that this is it. That Meg Wolitzer blurb, this book doesn't feel like a Meg Wolitzer book. So let's move on. Let's see, is there something else? How about this one? Honestly, We Meant Well by Grant Ginder. I like the cover. I like the statue on the front. I like that the statue is drinking wine. And here we have blurbs by Stephen Rowley. I've just read 2 books by him, so that's a good recommendation. Let's check out the synopsis. And it features the Wright family, which used to be my name. Sue Ellen Wright believes she has a close to perfect life, a terrific career as a classics professor, a loving husband, and a son who's about to graduate from college and safely leave the nest. The years ahead seem golden, a chance for her and Dean to rest on their laurels and finally enjoy the life they've built for themselves. But honestly, does life ever go as planned? Okay, I don't need to read any more of the synopsis. Let's check out page 112. I don't mind reading about a female who's going through some kind of a midlife crisis or something like that. Here we go. July 19th and 20th. Egina. She rinses the old coffee from the bricky, clearing away smears of brown from the small copper pot. Then she refills it with cold water and a heaping spoonful of grounds before setting it over the stove's blue flame. Slowly stirring the grounds, she watches as they dissolve, melding together to turn the liquid to a thick syrup. She takes her coffee like her father took his, thick, black, and silty, with the last few swallows requiring a healthy bit of chewing. Jet fuel is what Christos used to call it. Ambrosia for the new millennium. A thick foam starts to form along the water's surface, and she thinks back to how she used to watch him drink his coffee, back when she was a little girl. She would sit at the far end of the table here in the kitchen and stare as he lifted his demitasse to his mouth, taking monk-like sips while he slowly leafed through the paper. It would often take him an hour to finish a single serving. An hour during which the coffee surely grew cold, congealing to a bitter gel. Yet Christos never seemed to mind. He would still bring the tiny cup to his lips and blow on it with the same careful cadence that he used when the drink was piping hot. Well, this is the end of page 112, and I'm not sure that I'm enjoying that really existential look at drinking coffee, but let's check out this author photo of Grant Ginder. Okay. The three books we looked at: The Stationery Shop by Marjan Kamali, The Gifted School by Bruce Holzinger, and Honestly We Meant Well by Grant Ginder. Let me know whether you're voting for book 1, 2, or 3. So those are three books that I'm thinking about reading. I'm most drawn to 1. And I suppose by now that you've watched the video, you know which of those three books I'm probably most excited about just from the presentation. But maybe you know something that I don't know. So I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Let me know down there whether I should read book 1, book 2, or book 3. So let's talk down there. Thanks for watching this video. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more. I'll be back tomorrow for another video in my VEDA series where I'm trying to send you a video every day. So thanks for watching. Let's talk in the comments. And until next time, happy reading. Bye.